Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. There is a power so subtle, so quiet, that the world overlooks it. It does not roar or clamor for attention. It does not flash like lightning or thunder like a storm. Yet it is the force behind every fortune, every empire, every legend etched in history. This silent force, this invisible current, flows through the minds of the greats: Edison, Carnegie, Ford, Disney. It is the pulse that moves mountains when others see only stones. If you have ever wondered why some rise while others falter, why some men and women unlock the vaults of wealth and destiny, while many remain trapped in the maze of mediocrity, this is the answer. Not luck, not talent, not connections, the silent force. This force begins in the chambers of the mind. It is the discipline of thought. It is the refusal to be tossed about by every passing emotion, every fleeting distraction, every voice that tells you you're less than you are. It is the mastery of your internal world when the external world rages against you. The foundation of every millionaire's journey is laid in this quiet dominion. Control over what you think, what you believe, what you choose to accept as truth. Think of Henry Ford, who was told again and again that his ideas were impossible. The machinery he dreamed of building was too complex, too expensive, too ambitious. But inside, Ford nurtured a silent storm, a belief so steadfast that the noise of doubt could not penetrate. That belief was not a blaring declaration, but a calm, persistent conviction. It grew in silence, fed by discipline and clarity of vision, until it became an unswappable force that reshaped industry and culture. Discipline is the guardian of this force. It does not demand fireworks or heroics. It demands routine. The millionaire's discipline is invisible to the crowd. It is waking up before dawn while others sleep, reading when others scroll, planning when others procrastinate. It is the small choices repeated until they carve a monument. Napoleon Hill called it self-control and definiteness of purpose. This discipline tames the wild mind, turns chaos into order, and channels the silent force with precision. Purpose. This is the fuel for the silent force. Without a why, no how is sustainable. Carnegie, born into poverty, knew his purpose was not just to amass wealth, but to create lasting impact. He dedicated himself to building libraries and institutions because he understood wealth without purpose is an empty flame. When your purpose burns fiercely, it guides the silent force through storms of failure and seas of uncertainty. It keeps you anchored when temptation to quit whispers softly in your ear. But purpose alone is not enough. Clarity sharpens this force. Clarity means more than knowing what you want. It means seeing the path ahead in vivid detail. It means picturing the finish line with such precision that every step becomes a decision. Every decision, a deliberate action toward that vision. Visualize Edison in his lab, illuminating the darkness, not simply dreaming of light, but seeing the filament glow long before it ever did. Clarity crystallizes purpose into a blueprint that the silent force can follow. Belief is the engine, not blind faith, but a belief forged in reality, strengthened by persistence. It is the quiet certainty that you will succeed, even when the world offers only evidence to the contrary. This belief is not a burst of passion, but a long-burning ember, steady, unwavering, durable. Walt Disney faced bankruptcy, ridicule, and rejection, yet his belief in his vision was the silent force that ignited a global empire. Action is where the silent force reveals itself to the world. Without action, belief and purpose remain invisible, ghosts in the mind. But action fueled by silent force is different. It is consistent, deliberate, unyielding. It is the millionaire who turns every setback into a setup for a comeback, who uses failure as a lesson carved in stone, who moves forward when others pause. Action is the voice of the silent force in the language of results. Resilience is the armor. The path to wealth and success is littered with obstacles, betrayals, losses, and moments when the weight of the journey crushes the spirit. But the silent force is the resilience that rises again, unshaken, unbowed. It is the quality that made Lincoln endure countless defeats before becoming one of history's greatest leaders. Resilience whispers, "Try again," when the world shouts, "Give up." Gratitude is the quiet companion of the silent force. Many chase wealth with blind ambition, but the millionaire's journey embraces gratitude, a recognition of every small victory, every lesson learned, every person who played a part in the story. Gratitude is the light that reveals opportunities hidden in plain sight, the humility that keeps ego in check, the energy that replenishes resolve. Adaptability is the secret weapon. The world shifts with relentless speed, economies crumble, technologies disrupt. The silent force bends without breaking. It sees change not as a threat, but as a chance to grow, to evolve, to master new terrains. It is the spirit behind Ford's shift from horse-drawn carriages to automobiles, Edison's dozens of failed experiments before the light bulb, Disney's constant reinvention of storytelling. Learning is the fuel for this fire. The millionaire understands that knowledge is not static. It is a river that flows. To remain stagnant is to be left behind. This force drives the hunger for wisdom, the pursuit of mastery, the commitment to self-improvement. It is the resolve to be better today than yesterday, and better tomorrow than today. Every millionaire you admire has harnessed this silent force. They are not superheroes born with extraordinary gifts. They are ordinary people who chose to cultivate extraordinary inner power. They silenced the noise of doubt, tamed their fears, and made the quiet work of transformation every day. And this force is within you now, waiting to be awakened. It requires no special talent, no secret formula, only your willingness to master yourself, to decide what you will believe, what you will focus on, what you will pursue with unshakable purpose, to build discipline, not from bursts of motivation, but from daily rituals that shape your character, to embrace failure as the teacher it is, and to rise with resilience every time you fall. The silent force is not flashy. It does not promise overnight riches or fame, but it promises something far greater: control. Control over your mind, your choices, your destiny. It is the bridge from where you are to where you dream to be. Every morning you wake is an invitation to step into this force, to act as if your dreams are inevitable, to harness the stillness inside and turn it into power, to visualize the life you want in such detail that your mind cannot tell the difference between dream and reality, to believe so deeply in your own success that the universe bends to your will. This is the way of the millionaires. The silent force is their weapon and their shield. It is the river that carves the canyon, the wind that shapes the mountain. You do not have to shout your ambitions from rooftops. The true power is quiet, steady, relentless. It works beneath the surface, transforming your thoughts into habits, your habits into actions, your actions into results. Look at the greatest figures of history: Edison, Carnegie, Ford, Disney, Lincoln. Their stories are not about luck. They are about the mastery of this force. They knew how to harness belief, clarity, discipline, purpose, and resilience in a way that changed their worlds. And now, the choice is yours. Will you awaken the silent force within? Will you nurture it with discipline, purpose, and unyielding belief? Will you allow it to carry you beyond the limits imposed by fear, doubt, and circumstance? The path is never easy. It demands sacrifice. It demands grit. It demands that you look in the mirror and commit to the daily battle for your mind and soul. But those who endure become the architects of their own fortune. No longer wait for permission. No longer listen to the voices that tell you it's impossible. No longer settle for the average life. The silent force calls to you now. Lean in and step forward. Because within you lies the power to become more than you have ever dared to dream. To create wealth, not just in money, but in freedom, impact, and fulfillment. This is the silent force that creates millionaires. And it begins the moment you decide it will.